Hey everyone, Matthew here. I thought I would start doing kind of almost, not weekly, but little updates, just showing progress. It's more for me just to show that I've done something to myself, as well as some accountability there. So this past weekend was Victoria Day, so I spent some time working on this on the weekend. The path system before, you travel along the path, and obviously, we'd want triggers and things to happen at specific things other than just visibility checks. So I've made kind of a path event system. So you put a path event on a object and you assign the path that it's going to trigger on. Then you need to give it two things, conditions and processes. The conditions obviously have to be met and then the process happens. So in the case of wanting to switch paths, we have what we're calling a transition component or a transition process. So you have your path event saying that this can only happen once. This is key, by the way. And that the condition, the minimum range of 321 or 322 has to be met. And in the case of this the Boolean has to be valid. That's going to transition over to path A, and it's going to transition to the start of the path. The key thing here is that when we have that start set, it then ties into the distance component and knows that it's just going to move it wherever you set it. There's work being done on the idea that I can have a midpoint. So if a path crosses over another path, you can use that kind of join there. I have a lot of work to do there. That's just not there yet. So on each of these, they also have what we call a disable path event on pass. So if you were going past, in the case of this, if you went past the transition to the secondary path, path A, but you didn't want it to happen when you come back on later, you want to have disable path event on pass so that, it's if a distance thing is required, once it hits that distance, it doesn't do it again later on, because when you hop back on the path, the event will know that, I'm past this whatever value. So enough with the jumbly goop, as I hardly ever can talk like that. So we can fly along here. And in the case here, we've got all the conditions will be met. And we will see his camera has moved over to there. Cool, and he should join up at the end if I haven't left anything broken. I should have looked before. Oh, guess I left it broken. Yep, left it broken. Cool. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of the brokenness and minimum range. Should disable it. Actually should have fired. So we've got this broken. Process. It's because it's disabling this before it does this. So we're going to uncheck that. And where's the node root of that? Oh, look, code. We want to have this as false. We don't want that to default to there. There we go. Only one can disable the event on process. I'll build something to make sure of that. Okay, so now this will properly flow. All these are all new this weekend, plus the navigator, so it goes along, does its thing. Travel, should come back, no big deal. There you go. Okay, so for the sake of the argument here, I'm going to say that this condition is not met. And you can watch here, it'll disable this guy once it passes it, the distance check. There it goes. The reason it does the disabling and enabling is that they're basically events that get subscribed to, and so I'm trying to just keep it optimal as best I can. There we go. I know it doesn't look like too much, but there's a lot to what this can do. From enabling things, disabling things, to transitioning things. I'm sure there's all sorts of other cool stuff I can do with it, but that's it for now. Cheers.